So we all know that soft tops tend to have another name called rag tops. But the thing is I don't think this is what they mean by a rag exactly. I can see y'all through the holes in this. Yeah, that's basically all that's left. So, let's get to going. Okay, so I might have accidentally deleted all the footage of me removing the top, or at least most of it. For the most part, this top is completely moved. This here is the padding, which has got to stay. All I got left really is like a little bit in here that's got 2 self-tapping screws for some reason holding it together. But yeah, otherwise it is just about ready to be pulled off. The rest of the pieces are just sitting right up front there. New top here, new wire, and yeah. Now we gotta get these screws off, but I'm pretty positive these things are fairly rusted in. But we have one of these things, and essentially what these do is you put it right up to the screw, you take a hammer, bang on that thing there, and then it essentially just kind of works almost like a torque. It kind of just steadily and really powerfully turns the screw off. There we go. Those are out. There's not supposed to be screws in there. That was supposed to be technically glued in, and then there's a seal piece here that butts to the window, and that's what's supposed to hold this in. I've got basically everything pulled out, all the old stuff, barely recognizable as a top anymore. One last thing I probably do need to do is I need to get these bars here off. I need to get these pulled off of here and put onto the new top up there. But yeah, I also went ahead and fixed this issue because the seal here was always hanging down here. That's gotten fixed now, and this is much tighter on here too. Unfortunately, one of the little studs broke, but it's still on there pretty solid. But now, I'm probably gonna vacuum all this up, get this all cleaned up, wiped down, and then we're gonna get started on stuff. I also forgot to mention I did go through on this padding here, and I did like little fixes. There's some staples I had to put in, some I pulled out. Yeah, cute. Whoa, I don't know where that went. Okay, so that is the old tack strip and the rivets pulled out, and here we have some new tack strip stuff, which we'll go right there. We'll have to drill the holes first and all, and get it cut to size, but yeah. Now to drill these little spots out. Holes are all drilled and I trimmed it to length and got our rivets. Let's get to getting this putting back on. Okay, I put it on backwards. I also went ahead and removed the back bar thing. Now, I was originally trying to follow the Infamous Project's tutorial on doing this, but the thing is he has like an OE styled one where the window is separate and a glass, and this one I have here is all one piece. So my plan is I'm gonna make use, there's little loops in here and essentially the little bars to tie the top in. So it essentially just ties it to these little bars here. And then that way that'll hold it for the most part in place. And then I'm gonna measure up this to the here, and then finally get that tied into this.
It's not that noticeable. Bald! Bald!
Quick staples just kind of tacked in. Okay, we're taking a slightly different approach. I tied more staples in here, and the top is lifted up, and the idea is hopefully when I get this trash truck. Anyways, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by a trash truck. We're gonna set that up, and then essentially the idea is I'm gonna tie this into here, and then we're gonna check, just kind of like, you know, make sure it's where it needs to be.
Steal my hair.
Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I mean, it's a little loose. Probably going to do it just a little bit more. Otherwise, finally get this back piece on, and then we can start the hockey stick pieces here on the sides. It's all nasty. So right now, the best way I'm able to get around to this, because of the fact I don't just have the easiest of access anywhere, because of this being one piece, my idea here is that essentially I'm going to be measuring about, I believe, 1 3/4 inches from this edge, and essentially then using that line to meet up there, and then stapling. Ah, wait. This would be nice if I had a ruler instead of a tape measure. I got a perfect plastic purple ruler. A little time has passed, but everything's like kind of tacked in, not fully stapled. I'm gonna put a lot more staples in this. Now I'm gonna test fit it, or at least try to. It's pretty difficult to get in place and all, but we'll test fit it, and then we're gonna see to make sure there's no like weird stuff, and make sure everything's nice and tight like it's supposed to. I'm an idiot. I know what's wrong here. Fix the issue. Now these little brackets, I had them flipped. Have a look. Here we are. Pretty good stretch here on the sides. I'm probably gonna extend this just a little bit more, because that's still pretty loose. I mean, the bar is loose, but if once I tighten it, it's not gonna tighten up much further. But I also had something really cool. I came out here and to get back to work, because I took a quick little break, and there's a guy, another Fox buddy. Here's the pictures of him, and he passed by. I was looking, and he stopped by real quick, and that was pretty cool experience there to have happen. But yeah. And out. Okay, now to get this properly installed. Now, unfortunately, someone has messed with this a long time ago, and the only original washer left is this here. This is what they're supposed to be, and this is what we have for the most part. Yeah. Okay, so a little bit of time has surpassed, but it's kind of just about where it needs to be. I have this part, basically this whole line here is now tacked in. These are pretty much just about set in, and I've started with stretching this. So now, if I can just get this down. Yeah, for the most part, mostly for the stretched, and then it's mostly just kind of finishing up tacking this front edge, and then getting these other corners and stuff buttoned up. This would need to be buttoned up, seals and all that put in, these to be tucked and all that. But yeah, it's looking not too bad. I will say this, I'm a little worried with this corner here. It does feel just a tad loose, but I think when I get this all here hooked in and all that, it should tighten back up. Now to trim all this extra material with scissors. All that extra material. Not too bad. It could definitely be better somehow, but let's go around to the other side. This one, at least they match. At least they look the same. And there's definitely plenty of stretching that's going to need to be done, but that's okay. I prefer that anyways. Just in that way it makes sure that everything's properly tight. So now, what we gotta do, we gotta put these, we gotta put the seals, the things to put the seals into, and then that, and then I'm pretty sure that would just about wrap this up. That is it, pretty much done. Now I have to try and get this to latch down, which I'm gonna need my brother help with. Okay, quickly to the other side. That is very tight. A little bit. On. Okay, so here we are. It is basically finished. And I gotta say, it turned out pretty good. Definitely paying attention. Took the JBL speaker and do a little bounce. It's like a trampoline. There are some like spots that could definitely do better. Like this is kind of coming up a little bit. There's staples still showing, a bit of the padding underneath here showing, and then like it is a bit loose here. I might go back and fix that at some point, maybe not, but otherwise it turned out pretty good. That's the completion of this one. Next time you guys see this car, it's probably going to become a drawing template. But I will see y'all in the next video.